The stomach ache came back, all of it, so badly I had to go see so many specialists. I saw an allergy specialist, and I got like 20 patches on my back of different allergens. They tested me for 100 more allergies, wasn't allergic to any of them. Then they thought it was my gallbladder, which turns out my gallbladder was like dead anyways. It wasn't doing anything, so I had to get my gallbladder removed a couple years ago. I have scars from it. I've got 1, 2, 3, and 4 in my belly button, because they did it laparoscopically, so they didn't have to like make a giant incision to get my gallbladder out. So I got that out. Healing was a bitch from that, because I never had abdominal surgery before, and it was god-awful. I was in so much pain all the time. Got that done. Turns out it wasn't my gallbladder. I mean, my gallbladder wasn't working, but that's not what was causing the immense pain, because I was still having it. So they did more tests, and they found out the pain is just coming from because I'm so backed up again. I've tried doing clean-outs at home where I take medicine that, like, constantly, where I have to pretty much live in the bathroom, and that doesn't seem to do anything for me. I get too sick before the medicine kicks in, like nauseous, and I throw it all up, because it's a pretty heavy-duty medicine. Like, it's a powder Marilax, and you mix it in with your drink, and then you drink it. And I'm supposed to drink like several quarts within like 4 hours, but it sounds easy, but it's not, because with that medicine in there, it, like, you know, there's more to drink, and it tastes, I don't like the taste, but it's also, it just really upsets my stomach, so they've given me the option to go back in the hospital. I'm not taking that option. I mean, those 10 days were miserable. I'm not going back. If I can help it, if it gets to the point where they tell me, you know, I risk one of my intestines rupturing and tearing and having everything spill out and I become septic, then alright, I guess I'll go in if it's, you know, a matter of that, but until it gets to that, I don't want to, because I hate the hospital. So I continuously have stomach pains. They don't go away. They prevent me from doing a lot. A lot of times I get super nauseous. I can't eat. I lose more weight, which I don't necessarily complain about, but I also know isn't healthy for me, so it worries me. At the same time, my stomach seems to have gotten a little more distended again. I can suck it in pretty good. And I've been doing crunches and exercising to help tighten up my muscles and make my stomach a little more fit. But just no matter how toned I get my muscles, the stuff on the inside, you know, there's no way to tone that. I just got to get it out, and it's a lot of work. So then, as far as the diabetes goes, I was diagnosed when I was 12. But what happened was I had to get yearly blood tests, blood drawn for my cystic fibrosis for various reasons, and they noticed my A1C, which is your blood sugar levels for a 3-month span, was really high. It was like in the 300s, like 350 or something. And so they wanted to do some more tests. We were just about to leave to go to North Carolina, like we do every fall, for family and stuff. And we got a call that Friday, and we were going to leave on Saturday. And I remember the phone ringing, and I heard my mom answer it, and I was in my room doing stuff, and then the house got really quiet, and so I went looking for her, and I found her in the backyard on the phone crying. And she heard me come out. She turned and looked at me, and as soon as she did, I went running back into the house sobbing, because I knew what the answer was. When I was diagnosed with CF, they said I wasn't supposed to live past 18. I'm 19 now and doing great. I already had this terminal illness that, you know, caused all these problems, and we just got the news that I had another one. And with the CF, it made the diabetes more complicated. Now, how the diabetes works with the CF is it basically works like type 1 diabetes. I have to take insulin shots and monitor my blood glucose levels multiple times a day, every day. It came about because of my cystic fibrosis, and because of my CF, my pancreas was already damaged, and so it couldn't create any more insulin to lower my blood sugar levels. So it's called CFRD, which is CF-related diabetes, but it basically acts like type 1. And the difference between type 1 and type 2 is type 1 you have to take insulin and such to monitor your blood sugar levels. Type 2 you regulate your blood sugar with your diet by monitoring what you eat and how your carb intake. And so I went in the hospital for the weekend, and really I was supposed to spend about a whole week in the hospital, but I threw such a fit. I was not willing to do that at all. I was so upset that they brought it down to a weekend, so I was out by Monday or Tuesday. And they taught me everything I needed to know there, and I wasn't allowed to leave until I gave both my parents a shot, not of insulin, of saline water, salt water, basically. And I gave myself a shot and checked my blood sugar. I mean, they had to make sure I had to do all that. And at first, it was really bad because I was terrified of needles. But, you know, I've gotten over that fear, and now it's like needles are no big deal to me. I mean, unless they're like that long or something, then I kind of freak out, because the needles I use are like my fingernail width apart. And the following summer, I went to diabetes camp up here in Prescott, and it was really good. I made a lot of friends, and I got to learn more, and it was just really nice to know people that were going through the same thing as me, and we could relate. Since then, the diabetes has been my biggest challenge. I really struggle with it, keeping my blood sugars in line. It's hard. Lately, I haven't been doing my insulin. Sometimes I forget, sometimes I remember, and I just brush it off because I go, well, I haven't done it the past few days, so what's the point of doing it now? I want to be normal. I really don't feel like poking myself. So it's gotten pretty bad. Really feeling the effects kicking in. I'm tired all the time. All the time. I'm more achy. My muscles, my bones, my joints hurt. More headaches, more sinus problems. My other medicines aren't working as well as they could be because, you know, a lot of that all depends on what my blood sugar levels are, and they're just not that great right now, and I really need to get back to doing that. I have a diabetes appointment in February, and so I'm hoping that's gonna kick my ass back into gear. It's hard and frustrating, to say the least. I need to do my insulin. Right now I'm on a regimen where I only do one shot a day, and I have to do it every 24 hours, and it's called Levemir, and it's like a 24-acting insulin, so it keeps my blood sugar lower over a 24-hour period of time, instead of having to take a shot after every time I eat, which is what I had to do when I first was diagnosed. And now I only have to take one. You know, you can tell me, you know, well, that's just one. That's not a lot. You know, I have to do 4, 5, 10 a day. You know, you shouldn't be complaining. I mean, yeah, it's just one. It's not 10, but that's because I couldn't do 10. 10 was too much, you know? Taking a shot every time I ate and calculating up the insulin I had to do was too much. I would forget. I got frustrated. I would start skipping meals. I wouldn't eat, and then I was losing weight, and I'd get sick. So then I was on a pump, but the pump got to be an issue because, and for those of you who don't know, what a pump does is it's, you stick like a like a catheter in your stomach or your arm or wherever you want to do it, and it stays in for about 3 days, and you can hook the pump up, and the pump delivers a constant dose of insulin to you, and then you just plug in the amount of carbs that you ate when you eat, and then it'll figure it out for you and then deliver that amount of insulin for you. And it's really handy, and I liked it. And you know, I'm not exactly opposed to going back to it. It caused more troubles for me than I felt it was helping. The pump would get ripped out. Like if the tubing came out of my pocket and then hooked on the door handle, if I shut the door, it'd rip the catheter out. But the other thing was putting the catheter in. Because the catheter needle was so long, I'd get scared, and so I couldn't do it myself. I had to have my mom do it. Okay, so this is like my stomach, and you'd set the catheter just against your skin, and there's a button here that you'd push, and it would shoot in and then pull back out. The needle part would, and then the catheter would be in, but that, for some reason, pushing that button, I couldn't do it. And so that just got to be too much, so then I was back to doing insulin a few times a day. I couldn't do that, so we did 2 times a day. That was still too much for me. And so now I'm on 1 time a day, and sometimes it seems like it's too much. One time a day, sometimes it's like I just want to live my life. I just want to be a normal person. I don't want to have to worry about getting up in the morning, what my blood sugar number is going to be, taking all the pills I have to take, and then shooting myself up with insulin. Like, sometimes I just want to get up in the morning, lay on the couch and watch TV for a few hours instead of going straight into the kitchen and doing all the things I have to do. Or I want to get up, go into the kitchen, get my cereal, and then just sit down. You know, it doesn't sound like it's that much work, but when you have to do it every day of your life, several times a day, it gets to be a lot. It gets overwhelming. You know, there's just some points when you just want to go, I give up. You know, I don't want to do it anymore. I don't want to put up with this. But I know the complications if I don't. I could go blind. I could lose a limb. Kidney failure, heart failure, not to mention the worsening of my diabetes. I already have to wear glasses because the diabetes has really screwed up my eyesight. I mean, I used to have, like, perfect vision. I could see so well, and now, like, if my blood sugar's high and I, like, look across the room, I can't read anything, especially if it's in red. I don't know what it is about red, but I cannot read anything that's in red unless I wear my glasses. And so I have to wear them all the time when I'm driving, at school, you know, when I'm watching TV. Basically, I just wear them 24/7. And sometimes I think I like to get contacts because these got broke, and so they're kind of flimsy. So, you know, it's already taken a toll on my eyesight. You know, my CF, the infections get worse, last longer, all this stuff. And I'm super tired. And that's the thing that agitates me the most, I think, is being so damn tired all the time and wanting to nap all the time. So, I mean, that's pretty much it, you know, as far as everything up until now goes. And if you have questions, comments, concerns, you know, you can comment, send me a message. I'll put out more videos with updates on my health, questions I may have for other people, just anything I can think of related to this stuff. And I'll probably put out videos that don't have any relation to it, but I'll title these. I'll figure out some clever little unique title so you know, oh, this is when she's going to be talking about CF and diabetes, and oh, this is a rant, or this has nothing to do with anything. She's just rambling, kind of like I am now.